COVID-19 has changed nearly every aspect of our daily lives. One very noticeable impact of the outbreak is its influence on how and what people purchase, with the concept of buying local being touted as one of the major domestic economic drivers. How does Proudly South Africa hope to influence the buying power? Well, to discuss this further, we're joined by Happy Ngidi, the Chief Marketing Officer at Proudly SA. Happy, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Good morning, Blaine. Great to be here.
Thank you very much indeed for taking the opportunity. You're calling on South Africans to, I guess, rethink the game plan, one would say. How can we become game changers? Talk to us about the importance of buying local.
And it's exactly about that, Blaine. We're asking South Africans to change their game plan in terms of their purchasing decisions. So our Game Time in Mzansi campaign really seeks to encourage South Africans to buy local and support local, but not only during the festive season, but beyond the festive season as well. We're asking that it becomes a lifestyle because even when we do that as a people and as consumers, we make a formidable difference in the economy of the country. And so we're saying that the pandemic, you're quite right, it has changed our lives. None of us could have been prepared for what has played out. And the pandemic forced us to pause as South Africans and rethink our loyalty to South African brands. And the reality is, during a hard lockdown, South African brands are exactly what carried us throughout that period. In the absence of imports, which then, reiterates our message as Proudly South African that we've got great quality products that are right here at home, accessible, but that are also affordable, and that our products are not inferior.
The payoff line of the commercial is our everyday decisions shape our future. I guess it's what you're talking about, isn't it? Do you think this is resonating with people?
So we believe that payoff line is very powerful for the campaign that we are running, because it's very simple, in the sense that we're saying that our everyday purchasing decision shape our future, and we simply, say that, if you choose to buy a product that comes out of the country, you're essentially creating a job and a demand in the country where the product comes from. And so the question is, what then happens to the products that are stuck in our shelves in South Africa, that were made by South Africans for South Africans? What happens to their products that are, stuck in the shelves? It means that there's no demand that we're creating as South Africans. And, and then therefore we're not creating the jobs that we desperately need. And we're not sustaining the jobs that we currently have. So our purchasing decisions as South Africans are a responsibility of everybody, as a consumer. The economic plan or economic recovery plan that the president makes reference to is not only going to take the government to make the difference that we want to see in our economy and, for the betterment of our economy. It's going to take the public sector, the private sector, consumers, the community. Everybody has got to be, stand in unison and in solidarity and be the game changer, like you alluded to earlier on.
Look, I guess it needs to be a conscious decision to support our own, isn't it? Why do you think it's not happening at a rate that will deliver the desired outcomes? What sort of pushback do you get when encouraging people to buy local?
What we found throughout the years and through the researches that we've conducted in the past is that the pushback is informed by, generally South Africans, we believe that our own products and services are inferior to those that have been brought into the country. That's what we generally believe. I mean, we're very happy as South Africans to support, for example, in line of the clothing sector campaign that we're currently running, called Mzansi, Are You Wearing Local? So in light of that industry, We're very quick to support a product that comes out of the country, a label, a clothing label that is expensive and that is well known. But should one of our own, like Mark Hoss or a David Tlale or Lepaledi Sihapo or Gavin Raja, price his pair of jeans or a dress or whatever the case may be at a certain price, we're very quick to question it. We question the quality, we question the pricing, and we question the fact that by virtue of the fact that it's a locally made product, it is not good enough, but nobody questions Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Yeah. So it's really a mindset issue, which is where we come in as a proudly South African from a consumer education perspective with our Game Time Mzansi campaign that, trying to educate South Africans about the economic impact that there is when one chooses to buy a locally manufactured product or chooses to support a local business. So, the Game Time Mzansi campaign is based on an analogy, a soccer analogy, right, where we are saying that, when two teams play, imagine a local derby. Two teams are playing. The one team is lurking behind. The one is obviously winning. Right. They go for halftime, and when they get to the changing room, the coach encourages them to go back onto that pitch and tells them, guys, we've got to win this thing. We've got to go back there with a new game plan. Right. And that's exactly what we're saying as South Africans, that the pandemic has forced us to go into the changing room. Right. But the second half of our economy is about to begin. Yeah. How are we going to go back into that pitch and ensure that we contribute to the economy and play our part as South Africans by buying local and supporting local, because the reality is we'll all be helping somebody. We all know somebody who's looking for a job, right? Correct. Whether they are a close relative, a neighbor, an ex-colleague, or whatever the case may be, somebody out there today, here and now, is actively looking for a job. And by buying local and supporting local, we are creating the much needed jobs that the country is desperate for, and much needed, relief and for the betterment of our economy.
Get your game face on and buy local, because local is indeed lekker. Happy, thank you very much indeed for your time and your perspective. Be well.
Thank you so much, Blaine. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, you're welcome. Happy Ngidi, the Chief Marketing Officer at Proudly South Africa.